Hello friends, it's Reza. Welcome to channel Reza Blade, and today I've got a couple of new clear jelly stamper plates for you. They are around $15 at most retailers in the US, and I just wanted to let you guys know that right offhand that these particular plates I did rate intermediate to advanced. And I'll tell you later in the video why I said they are not beginner's plates. There are clear jelly stamper plates that are beginner's plates, and I don't normally have such trouble with clear jelly stamper plates. I just want to let you know. So if you want to see my manicures, I did 2 manicures, one for each plate as usual. I did the swatches as usual. If you can't read this text, it says I call the shots. That's why there's a hypodermic needle there and a nurse's cap. Anyway, so these are great plates, but they are intermediate. If you aren't at that level and you want to watch this review anyway, please do. Again, these are great plates, and not all clear jelly stamper plates are ones that you have necessarily problems with. And I'll tell you what problems I had with it as we go. In general, the extra equipment that I'm going to recommend that you have on hand if you're using these plates is absolutely a sticky base coat, or a top coat, cheap top coat like the one I use from LA Colors. This is available at Dollar Tree and Walmart for super cheap. This stays tacky for about 3 minutes. It's a terrible top coat, but it's really wonderful to stand in for a sticky base coat if that's, you know, what you have the money for. And I do a lot of manicures, so it would be cost prohibitive for me to always buy a, a $10 sticky base coat. So this is what I use. Now, I was recently sent Double Bond by Vibrant Vinyls, and it is better than the top coat. I do like it better. It is more expensive, but not too much more expensive. It's like, I think this one is $7.50. I've seen sticky base coats for 12 bucks or so. So especially since this one comes with a scent of your choice, she has a bazillion you can choose from. I do also recommend this one. I also recommend your reading glasses and a very steady hand. I have an intermediate tremor that, did its damage. You'll see on the swatch sheet. I hope I'm not too embarrassed, but I am a bit embarrassed. So anyway, first things first, we're going to look at the Steampunk plate. This was part of a birthday present from a very dear friend. Please ignore my lighting. It is annoying to you as well as me. This number is CJS LC-46. She did the Steampunk plate in collaboration with @ChantelJoy_Infinity. So we have some of these interestingly propelled kind of steampunk style items. We've got clockwork inside both a bird and a woman. This is the clockwork that goes inside her. We've got a bicycle, old style bicycle. Awesome hot air balloon. A neat kind of vintage style mustache. A biplane that is also layered. And you can fill in these clouds with a mixture of colors, or you can do it with stamping. Either or. So these gears and things are fun. A key that's rather elaborate. And then there are some just visual sort of additions, visual art additions to the plate. Like these up here. Each 3 equals 1 final image, and you'll see that when this is just 2 images. 2 layers that make up this final image. All right, so this was really hard for me, but this was impossible for me. So my close sight is going, like my reading sight, and I do have reading glasses, but that's still, I'll show you how I didn't do amazingly on this one. I hid this under a bit of a pond treatment. Can't see if you can tell. But I think it worked out just fine. And you see, here's the chain image that I used in the manicure. More gears. There's a bit of the pond in the middle finger. The polish that I used for the base on this is a Beauty Big Bang metallic kind of duochrome polish. Number 3. All right, so there's that. And I'll show you how these kind of come together on the actual swatch paper that I've got. Here's some more visual elements. All right, so my favorite ones on this are the revolvers and the timepiece, the various keys. I like the woman, I like the bird. I do like the Age of Steam here. Stylistically, that's flipping gorgeous. And it keeps going out of, I think it's trying to focus on the light and not the plate, which is super annoying. Here's some gears that were a little bit easier for me, which is why you'll see them all over that mani. If you want close-ups of the mani, I am posting it on Instagram later today. All right, let's go to, since I did show you guys this manicure, if you guys are interested in how to do pond, ask me, but there should be some info online about various how various people and artists do pond manicures. It pretty much involves like a jelly polish or a sheer polish going on top of other polishes. If you'll forgive my inflammation right now, I'm in the middle of a huge flare-up. And so here is my medical themed plate. And what better timing, right, than the COVID crisis for a medical themed plate. This one says EMT Superhero. And I really like this base polish that I used by Lynn B Designs. This one is called Spotty and Dotty All Over. It's really cute. All right, so here is a layered, like, full nail stamp. We have Not All Angels Have Wings, Living in the Scrub Life, Coffee, Scrubs, Rubber Gloves, I Call the Shots, Boo Boo Crew, Nursing is a Work of Heart, EMT Superhero. There are some really awesome images that are meant to be layered on top of this X-ray light table or wall light or whatever it's called. But we've got a half of a person, half of a core. We've got the full core. We've got a full person. That obviously doesn't go in the in the square, but these do. And then on the hands, and that's really cool. There's also a wound that's stitched up. That is awesome. Here's the needle in multiple stages. Here is an ECT heart, electrocardiogram heart, nurse, and here's the ambulance, love and care, a ribbon. You can do that for whatever cause you follow in your family or your friends or someone you care about has been affected by an illness condition. Here's some scissors and some band-aids, veins and arteries. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I know how to spell it, but here's the symbol of the field of medicine. And a couple of women in scrubs. These are kind of tough. Again, I would really make sure that you use a trusted stamping polish. None of this nail polishes that are double duty as stamping polishes. I use none of those in my swatches for these because they just didn't work on these two plates. Here's a kind of a standard fit band-aid. The heart, the lungs, the brain, the skull. And I love that this stethoscope has a heart on the end of it. This RN, it's shown on the paperwork that they include on a heart background that is a symmetrical heart. Love heart, not, you know, biological heart. But the only heart stamp that is open on this plate is the asymmetrical one, the kind of lopsided one. So I don't know what is really meant to be happening here. Maybe the plate went to print too soon, I don't know. Here is another plus. This nurse's cap, you can put a heart in there, you can put a plus in there, you can put an RN in there. Nurse Life again. Nurse Life appears twice on this plate. Oh, Nurse does. Anyway, and then here's a electrocardiogram readout that has a heart space, and here is the heart there. Now this 3-step full nail thing, I never got the hang of this. I know what it's supposed to be. There are various elements that I understand. There's a first aid kit and eye and a beaker and stethoscope and hearts and pluses. Like, I see all those things. Hypodermic needle, but they were just really difficult to get straight as far as the fully layered stamp goes. And there were some there were some flowers that they included on here. Not my style for them to go on the lungs and the skull and the brain like they have it here, but I could still find a use for those flowers. So here is a picture of what they finally did. This is what that full nail stamp is supposed to look like. This is what the other full nail stamp is supposed to look like. Here are the various X-ray vision images. They're so cool. Caduceus. I can't say it. Caduceus. Somebody, I'll look it up, but it would be, if you know how to say it offhand without, help, then maybe comment below. But I will look it up after, now that I've done the video and it's printed into the DNA of the internet. I guess I should probably know how to pronounce that before I do a video. Anyway, so here are some tablets. And these, see, this is the missing heart image. That's not on the plate. But, it is a really cool plate. It's also got a lot of fine lines that tend to escape and sort of mess up your stamp if you don't have a sticky base coat down. I don't know if you've ever had fine lines kind of dangle in the air after you set down the stamp, or misposition themselves when you set down a stamp, but that does happen with super fine lines. Half the stamps, in order to stamp them or put them on the swatching paper, I had to put in the freezer first. And I know I'm going to get a lot of clapback with this, or maybe I won't, but I do, when I'm having really trouble with the stamping plate and it's just not happening. I've changed polishes several times. I've changed angles with my scraper. I've changed scrapers. I'm just doing a bunch of different things. It's possible that my hands and the extra effort or just sitting out has made that plate a little more warm than usual. And I know that we're talking like microns here of space, but when it comes down to a plate, you have an engraving. And as you know, heat makes metal expand and cold makes metal contract. Okay, so as my hand is going all over here and I'm touching the plate, it's getting warm, it's not picking up anymore. I put it in the freezer for 5 minutes, and my theory about why this works is that the metal closes up and that engraving again becomes deep enough to actually make a stamp happen instead of just a polish mess. So if you're really having trouble with a stamping plate and you've been working with it for a while, I would try the freezer. Just wipe away the condensation when it happens and just keep stamping until it gets warm again and stops working. Anyway, so let me, without any further ado, and while I'm in the middle of this, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. I would love it if I could get some more subscribers and some more comments. But if you've enjoyed this, please do like my video. Anyway, so here's how I've done these whole images. And again, not the most steady hand in the world right here. I was supposed to put this element down first in this little, visual art element, but I didn't, so that's why it's like that. That being said, you could always hand paint that in. Who says you have to always layer when you have a layering plate? So we have a cool pipe. Ceci n'est pas un pipe. This is not a pipe, but it is. That's a Greek joke. Anyway, so we have the woman, we have the watch. Aren't these things lovely? We have the biplane. We have a very poor attempt. This is what I meant about those like flying and floating fine lines. Sometimes that just ends up in a kind of a disaster and you have to redo the whole thing or change this bit. And if you just had some sticky base coat down, everything would have turned out okay. I never did get the fine lines to work for this one because I just felt like it would be weird to put sticky base coat down on paper. So just imagine that this is holding onto its basket with fine lines that never appeared for me. I had some trouble, like I said, with these. I just had to use very specific polishes. It worked with some polishes, didn't work with others. Here's a really cool hat with goggles on the top. We've got a bow tie that was supposed to be 3D that looks distinctly not layered. So I'm wondering if I forgot to put the outline on that or what happened. Here are the revolvers and the bird and the key. Like I said, some of these just didn't go, monocle. Some of these just didn't go amazingly well, but it would have gone better if I could have put down sticky base coat. Here is a chain. Here's lots of chains. Here's how the key full nail image worked with the layering. Here is my catastrophe of my gears image with the layering. So I've got here, and I've got here, and I've got the full outline stamp. And I managed to make some of the gears line up, but I guess things had shifted enough to make it just completely out of line for other bits and parts. So I had trouble with this one. I have been stamping for 3 years. I am not a beginner. I'm not intermediate. I consider myself an advanced stamper. Most of what I do is reverse and layered stamping, and I make huge, super complicated manicures. Anyway. So I'm not trying to defending myself. I'm saying that if I'm having this much trouble and I have made allowances for a lot of different plates, then this is definitely somebody with some experience you should buy this plate. Not somebody who's just brand new to stamping, I think. This is how this one worked out. Like I said, just a lot of fine lines that really wouldn't cooperate with me. I think I have that question mark because nurse appears twice, and it's not significant enough of a size difference for me to wonder about that. I don't know. It's okay. I like all of the sayings. I like the layered stamps. I didn't do an amazing job as far as picking colors. I tried to use colors that I don't really use a lot so that I can waste them in swatches. There were a lot of fails, but I always went back and redid it. So I didn't like the way that this rose or chrysanthemum turned out. It was just a different shape than what goes under it. I'm sure somebody will stamp it and it'll look perfect. Here is that catastrophe of a full nail stamp that I was telling you about. Like, I just couldn't manage it. Here's my version. Trying to make the top image, trying to make it totally complete, and it just didn't work out for me. This is RX over a plus. This is RN over a plus. This is a bad scraping job I did. These are veins and arteries so that you can see. I'm not saying that your blood is blue. I'm just saying, anyway, whatever. It's not really important to talk about now. But here's that stitches wound that I have done on my swatch sheet, and the hypodermic needle, etc., etc., etc. Here are the ladies in their scrubs. Even this didn't end up perfect. Anyway, so really thrilled. And when I did the Caduceus, I'm gonna just say that until you guys stop laughing at it. Anyway, so here's the nurse hat, the traditional kind of nurse hat with a love heart inside and band-aids and stuff. But I did this on the wrong pole. I was supposed to do the wings and the snake on the shorter pole and the just snake on its own on the thicker, longer pole. But that's okay. Because if you don't do it perfectly, you can do it again. Oh, and here are some more gears and things to show you. See, I went through steps and stages of success and failure. Anyway, so that that is about it on those two plates. I will have some sugar bubble plates, Baby Yoda, and I have Baby Yoda and Ghostbusters coming up in the next couple of days. I'll release a video. I've already got the swatch sheet done for that. I'm just working on the manis, and then I'll get my video out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, make sure that your bell, when you click on subscribe and notifications, make sure that your bell is all the way filled in, because you want to get all the notifications of my videos, especially if you like Baby Yoda. So I hope that you have had fun. I have had fun, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Talk at you later. Bye.